Hello everyone, welcome back. This is Caffeine Encrypted and we're back with more workers and resources. Some time has passed and of course a new day starts. Let me catch you up. First big change. I moved the heat plant from over here all the way back here. I was running into some issues with pollution because I also had to extend our citizen capacity over here and set up a couple new facilities for them as well. Our population at the moment is up to 6,288 with about 100 that need their own house. We're gonna start our second city today, and those 116 people will be the very key thing for that. We also have a bunch of reconstruction happening over here since things are starting aging. So if we look at our overlays, wear and tear, okay, so you just hit 50%. Generally we are decent. Few things need repair and to change because some models are pretty old. I dedicated this last construction office to only do reconstructions, and I manually assign it other tasks when needed, because when you have active tasks, the game seems to prioritize active tasks over reconstruction, and that causes issues. I had things pretty much almost falling apart. Additionally, I forgot that to get the metal scrap out of this, you need a conveyor belt to output it somewhere else, because it's not a resource that can be carried across with a factory connection. Instead, you need an aggregate connection, which is a conveyor belt. And since I had to move it out of there, I'm like, well, I might as well invest in a recycling plant for the steel. So that's what we're doing now. Whatever we're scrapping, we are just quickly turning it into steel and, of course, utilizing the steel. Another thing I didn't know is before I had 3 small covered hulls, and they affected the amount I could repair vehicles, and I realized that with trains. So the moment I upgraded to these bigger ones, I could repair a train from 60 or 70% wear and tear down to 0. And speaking of those trains, I bought a few things. So we did buy this train set. It was used and old, so I bought it for pretty much like 100,000. I bought this tunnel boring machine, so now we can make tunnels again for ridiculously cheap. And we also bought this train set, again, very cheap, and it's in the process of being repaired, so next year this will be down to 0 wear and tear. Considering it's a vehicle that is 16 years old, that's pretty decent. This is just to get us started and help us move things around. Also, I purchased an oil tank. I'll have to purchase a couple more. I established a couple more farms over here because I needed to push up our farm production and moved our hazardous waste all the way back here. Probably in the next episode or the one after, we're gonna set up a proper recycling and waste processing area. Not many changes in our industry. I plan on redoing the whole industry once things are a little bit better. I threw a few more forklifts, and the reason for that is I wanted a faster rate of taking those production resources out of there and in here, and instead of feeding the resources from the warehouse to the actual factories, which was pretty slow, whether you did it with forklifts or with a direct connection, instead I have 3 covered hulls just delivering pretty much almost 10 tons of crops to those buildings, and it keeps them topped up, and they can operate at maximum percentage when there is enough people. Looking at our city, police-wise, we are fine. Court cases are sort of okay, but that's because we have a second courthouse which we haven't started using yet, and there is a challenge with that. Because the game, even if you don't have people, it will still split the cases between all available courthouses. So that can be dramatic. We're gonna move this construction office from over here. We will move it into the new city so it can continue expanding and rejig some of those lines. I haven't put any signals anywhere. I just wanted to finish building this base infrastructure first, and then I will start signaling, and when we start expanding, we'll talk about how we're gonna do that. Crop-wise, we have about a backlog of about 8,000 tons of crops. I build another storage for meat over here, so effectively this produces meat, pushes it over here to this meat storage. I take it away from here to keep the production here and store it in the bigger one, and I have my trucks collecting things from over here to distribute to my cities. Cities plural because I've been stocking up the second city before we get it started. Another change I made is I set up a little cargo train station over here, and I bought a cheap train with a couple of wagons, which is over here. So I bought 3, what are they called? Box carts. So they cover 160 tons of crops. They go over here, they wait until they unload it, and they help produce all the stuff. Which freed up the crops distribution office. So now this just supplies the city, and this one and this distribution office over here, the only thing they do is they take all the crops from this place when they are being harvested, transfer it over here to stock it up because it's a much larger storage compared to the little warehouse over there, which only stores almost 1,300. And from here, we push everything up to somewhere where we can consume it. As you probably realized, our radio station is ready, but I don't have enough people to make a substantial difference, so we will work on that as well. And since fires have been going crazy for a while, I think I observe a pattern. So we have our fire station over here, and if we see its coverage, it's meant to cover everything. So yellow lines is where a fire truck can reach, green is where a helicopter can reach as well. Now, when things are close enough, the game doesn't want to send helicopters. So if we go over here and measure, let's say from the street over here all the way to, where are you? To this one, so 771, that's not really close. But I had this burned down 3 times because they couldn't reach it, even though this is an asphalt road, because it always happens during winter. Gotta love it. And they would never send a helicopter. But when the building next to it, this one, caught fire, they did send the helicopters. So it's a little bit curious. Also, you will see here that I installed a bus stop, so I can bring people for the scrapping facility, the recycling plant, and the repairs. So pretty much just a little road to connect it to all the places. I started buying a bunch of KSM buses to replace the older RTO Lux because they were falling apart, and there is a lot more of that to do. And before we get into the super cool stuff, so our oil field over here, the roads are all ready, and I did terraform this a little bit to make a connection to the border in case we want to start utilizing it. I've been slowly upgrading the roads over here into asphalt to give us better movement, and I set up 2 technical services. These technical services, the only thing I want them to do is deal with snow plowing. So I'll be playing around with those to keep those roads clean and accessible. Here we have our 3 big producers, so our steel industry is ready to be used. Our gas power plant is ready, and we did stockpile a little bit of oil over here. Our refinery is ready to be utilized as well. I've been moving a little bit of oil with a little truck here, taking forever. And of course I installed a little train line so I can bring people here easily. Last time we spoke about this setup, so oil goes here into the refinery. The refinery connects to those 2 pumps, so pump number 1 will fill oil storage 2, and then it will work on oil storage 3. Now, I mentioned something about priorities. If you give the game priorities, it will not split things evenly. It will send everything to the highest until it's full, and then it will move to the next. Now you may ask, how do I know which one is which? There is one good way to do that. If you mouse over where it says output 2, output 3, you can see which one it is. So the one I want here to be high is actually output 1. Switch that to high. And then output 3, I want it to be medium. Perfect. Selecting the other refinery over here for bitumen. I want output 3 to be high because that's the one I'm going to utilize. And then anything excess will go into output number 1. And from here our train can take it and sell it. Worked a little bit on terraforming on this side, getting a vague start for maybe a couple CPRs or things like that. I set up a small construction area over here. I use some of those free open storages to move a lot of resources to speed up the building, because before they had to travel like 3 kilometers to bring everything over here. And it was very cumbersome, problematic, and very costly in terms of fuel. So we have 4 construction officers over here. Again, this will stay here and maintain those areas. So one will become dedicated reconstruction office, and the other 3 will be miscellaneous and assisting with whatever we need to do in the area. We're going to expand this into a little bit of more construction, so we'll move some asphalt production over here since we have this aggregate storage which is connected with a train line. So we're going to bring gravel over here with trains, and I made a bypass with another storage over here for coal. Need to set that up just so we can have the buffer for the heating plant. We're not close to the border, so we need to make sure we have enough coal here to keep people warm, otherwise they're all gonna freeze to death, and that will be a very expensive endeavor. I know I'm saving the city for last, but I connected the power all the way with the border and our gas power plant over here. Over here. So everything is connected and ready, so we have the imported power, and we also have the power that we can use locally. And here is our city. Let's inspect it. Let's see what is ready, what is not ready, what we need to adjust, and what is missing. Because before we bring people, we need to make sure we have what it takes to keep them alive. So first of all, what buildings are not done? Large train station is not ready yet. I've set it as a high priority, just needs a few workers, so that shouldn't take too long to complete. Next to it, I've posed the headquarters of the party. All it needs is people, so again, we're gonna wait for a while. Fire station. Now, this is very, very, very important. We will need to have both fire trucks and helicopters here. And I did set up a second smaller one over here with just one helicopter to prevent any buildings from burning down while things were constructed, because waiting for the other area to reach over here, even if it's within range, would take forever. We have our big pub with Lenny over here. Still got a few roads being finalized and a couple more garbage containers, which is fine. Our main monument is ready. That's a very, very tall monument, but I like it. Just a couple fountains to keep things interesting. We have food, clothes, and meat over here. And as I mentioned on the previous episode, I'm stockpiling things in this warehouse and this meat storage, so pretty much everything I will have will go point to point and keep this topped up. I also have the medical university paused for a very, very long time. I will only enable it when it's time, and those buildings over here, those hall of residences, will be for students. If you look at our population, we actually have about 300 people who cannot study. So those will come in handy very, very quickly. Police staff. We don't have any police here, but I have all the vehicles ready. Our courthouse here is also ready. You will see they assigned it 7 cases, even though there is no one here to actually action them. Secret police again, ready with the vehicles. Also, you guys need fuel. Did I forget about you? I made this the fuel distribution. Yes, I did. Okay, please fix, thank you. Our prison is being finalized here as a low priority, because we will need to move people here from the other city. And here is just our little area with the cinema, the House of Culture, which I'm convinced is broken. Same with the Museum of the Republic, because people, hello, anyone visiting this? So I don't know if only tourists visit this. We'll find out. Our hospital over here is ready as well with ambulances. And of course we have our houses over here, some volleyball courts over here, tennis court, just a bunch of different things to give them excitement. For water, I pulled water from the first city over here. I had plenty of surplus instead of building a localized one over here. And now for the juicy stuff. Let's play with overlays. So, let's say you build a bunch of houses and you want to see that, well, they can reach everything they need. First of all, you want to see, do they have access to power? So we're going to select electricity. Everything that is green has access to power and is available to have power. So this monument obviously cannot. Heating. Everything has heating. That is meant to have heating. So happy times. Water. Looks good, looks good, looks good. Very good. Sewage, another important one. Everything looks to be in order. Waste. So you will see some have a sort of deeper green than others. This means that it is in closer proximity than the rest. Also, interestingly enough, the tennis courts do not create garbage. So all of those houses have a bunch of smaller connections over here for garbage. I couldn't build them with the bigger containers because the reach is too tight. So considering I have a bunch of nodes around this area, I think it will be fine with a single garbage collection office, but we're gonna test that. Here we have my usual setup for waste, so let's configure it. So this will be mixed waste. This I want it to be other stuff, so we're gonna make it hazardous waste. This we will change into biological because I do not want it to be changed into anything else. And for the last one, I will switch it to one line of metal, one line of plastic, and one line of construction. I'm gonna leave the other two as mixed and adjust as needed. Usually you can get away with 3. I like to have 4 for a bit of an overflow. And these will remain bidirectional. And the reason for that is I want my trucks to go here and load things into their specialized containers, and then I will collect them with other trucks to move them where we need to process them. So we have 2 technical services over here. One will deal with all the waste, the other one will be snow plowers and other miscellaneous buildings, just to keep things going. A distribution office, which this one will be for our fuel, and this will be for food, meat, and general city needs. I have 4 buildings over here that I have posed. Those are container buildings, and the reason I built it this way is I wanted somewhere where I can build my containers, stockpile them over here, and then utilize trucks pretty much to distribute them around based on filters, instead of just trying to have everything connected to these, and it's a lot messier. So with this, I think with the right filter, I can just say, hey truck, go here, collect food containers, take them over here, and then all 1, 2, 3 pretty much offices with forklifts can directly unload them on this one. That's why we have this single connection going back into the train tracks. And of course, buses, because this will require people when we enable them. I don't see me utilizing them anytime soon, but I wanted the infrastructure to be there and to be able to test it. Also, if you look at the paths, they can reach everything, and that's because I set up underground paths to assist with it, since roads cannot cross factory connections. And now that I caught you up on everything that happened, let's get the city rolling. So I'm gonna go over here at the top on this flat and say, let people move here. And I'll say, you guys can only work over here, so you can get the important stuff, so you can start getting food, which is your primary services. I will allow the hospital as well. Because I think most of you guys that will move here are already adults and educated. So yeah, it will be a mixed bag. Yep, so they are all slowly moving, so they'll fill this building. I can start assigning them to these, but I do not need that just yet. So instead, I will say I want a few of you to work over here, kindergarten, and I'll give them that one as well. So that should be enough. I'm just going to switch the population to 41, or let's say 30-30, because we will need a bunch of people in the hospital. Obviously, I'm going to decrease that because I don't need 30 immediately. So we're going to start with 10. You I'm going to keep as is. It's okay you don't have electronics. I'm not too worried. Will be a little bit of a happiness hit, but nothing crazy. And over here, time to spend money. So they are expensive. They're very, very expensive. So we're going to buy 2 MI4s. Actually, 3. We have a lot of infrastructure. And we'll need some good trucks. So 17, 26. You're pretty fast, so let's fill this up with fire trucks. Yes, those earthquakes are messy, and an earthquake on this city will be devastating if we don't have the right coverage. So I really want to play it safe. Speaking of which, you need people. Actually, you don't. No, you're fine because of the helicopters as long as they use them. That's okay. In a pinch, I will just assign them there. You're sick, you're being looked after. Okay, good stuff. And one of the reasons I assign them manually to those ones is, 1, because I want them to prioritize this, and 2, I don't want them going around automatically trying to work in things like the prison to build it up, or the train station, because then they will all run out of resources and die. And let's spend more money. So, economy. So we owe 5.6 million. We can take another loan for 870. So I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take 820. I'm gonna clear this one. Go away. And let's buy trains. Also, anything good used over here to get? Nothing super exciting that I need. That could be interesting, but that's okay. So, what trains do I want first of all? I want to make the train that will go and start bringing the oil to my refinery. So we need a good train. So you are diesel locomotive. Speed is kind of important at the moment. So 100 and 100, you're the same. The difference is the engine power. I'm just gonna go with the classic DR. 2 DR classes. I do want another tanker. So 21 meters, 12. So 2 of those technically are better than one of these. Slightly longer, but these ones will do. So 120 tons. Let's buy 3. 1, 2, 3. And I have another one, so that will make them 4. So those are my tankers. Let's move them. Those fire trucks are still going. Okay. Let's give it a minute. So you go there. You go there. I'll give you a line to go, load, and come back to unload whenever you get in there. Come on. Speeding up the game usually helps. So get in, since we have no signals. Go, friends, go pick up what you can. Can you get all of them? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, you should be able to. Traffic jam, where? It's over here. That's okay. So you're gonna get fuel? Yes. I also had a couple more fuel issues, so I made this little bypass over here for fuel. And in this you go. Perfect. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's a very decent capacity. And we'll say, I want to give you a new stop. I want you to go to this station, load oil, wait until you're loaded. And I want you to go over here, wait until you're unloaded all of your oil. And then from here, when I want to sell, I will load things and probably send it to the border. Or I might use a second train for it. We'll see. We check on our citizens over here. That's okay. A few of you are unemployed and you're complaining because you cannot go work. You cannot go visit a pub. You'll be fine. So you are 142 out of 210. Cool. When this is full, I will enable another house. If you ever have an area you don't want people to move on their own, select the area and then say disable this. So this will prevent anyone from moving into the city. Actually, I don't even have alcohol here. Have I brought alcohol here? I am bringing some, but it's slow work in progress. So, there you go. Please top this up as well, thanks. And I did say we're gonna need people for this heating plant. So, initially I'm gonna bring them here with a bus. But what I want to do is, I want to play a little bit with cable carts. So, if we use a small one, they're fairly inexpensive, they need power. So, all my people are over here. Where can I get some lines? So, would this be light or heavy? What kind of cards do we need? I haven't used those before. Okay, so looking at what's available, pretty much heavy will carry 10 per wagon. These will carry 4, so we'll need a lot more of those. So I'm just gonna go with heavy lines. I'm thinking I'll utilize this side over here. So mirror this so I can get the factory connection the other way and also get the cable card connection. So you can go right here. Just gonna get the mud road for now. And cableways, heavy. I think the difference is just the height over here. And they really don't like turning. So they need to be very direct from what I know.
2,000 years later.
Okay. And because the game can be tricky, we're gonna go with a big cable connection over here. Let me just quickly show you. So we'll start from here, and then we're gonna go straight line across, across, across. Start slowly turning to this side and over here, so we can bring the people to this. These things, when they are in a straight line, as long as they're not too far, they can connect well. But the moment you start to deviate, probably like about not even 10%, they're like, nope, no can do. So just going to quickly connect this stuff with a road so it can start getting built. So let's say something like that. You guys, you can walk there. We will fix it properly with footpaths. So let's give them. I don't want to give them any undergrounds. No, that's fine. That's only 300. And when I upgrade this into gravel, it will be okay. These, obviously, to be built, they require a road segment. So let's just give them a temporary road. And then I will have to depend on probably helicopters for their maintenance, but we shall see. As long as I'm not building anything else there at the moment, it shouldn't be a problem. So you go here, connect this way, connect this way. It's a little tight, but it will do. You can connect here, you can connect here. You're definitely going to need an asphalt road, because yes, they can reach you. But I do want them to be able to reach you comfortably. So let's queue you and see. Every citizen at the moment can reach it. Okay, that's happy times. I don't think this will be ready before snow, but even if it's not, the next 3 months are fairly warm, so that gives me time to get a couple buses up here and get them going pretty much from this station over here to just keep the heat going. And our train is now unloading oil. Let's have a quick look. Oop, wrong button. So you're feeding into this, and then this is splitting. Oh, we have another priority to adjust here. So overlay resources are here. So at the moment, these, since I have set no priority, you will see it's giving things to both. If I say use priority, so adjusting the priority of output 1 to low, I think that the one on the left is 3, right? I think so. It doesn't show me for some reason, but yeah, that would, yeah, because that would be 1, 2, 3. So if we look at it, this is ticking up, this is not ticking up. Now this is full, now it will fill this one. So remember that when you play with pumping stations. In this case, that's exactly what I want, because I want this to be topped up for the power, and then everything else will be just stockpiled in this to utilize. Okay, so this population is expanding rapidly. Very good, very happy about that. Things are fine. Probably by the end of the year they will be ready. So I will allow this building as well, and I'll keep these guys as free citizens. Oop, we have a problem. Garbage container. Oh, yeah, that's a problem. Also, did I not give you waste collection? Wait. Did I forget? Didn't I check that with the overlay earlier? Ha! Oops. You don't have it, and you don't have it because you're not built yet. Okay, so we need a waste thing over here. So let's give you just a regular standoff for now. There isn't anything else. Let's just place you there. Regular dirt road is fine. And we need this to be done as a high priority. I will allocate number 2 as well. So garbage containers, but the resources are fine. You're full, but you're not. You're at 133. Okay, you're not terrible. Let's set these guys up as well. So technical services. 1 kilometer will only cover half the city. No, we want the whole thing. So you can do 2. So you can cover everything locally without the industries. I actually like that. So you can be a 2 kilometer, and you can be a 3 kilometer. So you will cover the industries. Very good. So again, we're going to spend money. And we're going to buy. So you are the 2000. So you are the inner city. You are the fastest and the better, and they have mainly small ones. So I'm gonna get 4 of them. I'm going to get 1, 2, 3, 4 of the big ones as well. And for the industry over here, I'm going to get another 4 big ones. 1, 2, 3, 4. So here's they will be overlapped, and that's fine. For waste storage, all of you guys unload stuff there. Same with you. You unload stuff over there. That's all I'm gonna buy for that for now. Well, take a minute to get over here and start cleaning things up. Another overlay that is useful is if you go here and look at waste. So this is 4%, 15%, 136%. Yeah, okay, that's okay. Okay, so they should be there in a fairly decent time frame. And since I had to take another loan because things are expensive, especially until we start making our own steel, I'm gonna finish setting up those trains. So we have one extra train, and what I want is I want a cargo wagon. And what I want it is to be able to transfer coal. So I'm thinking I'm looking for a hopper. Yeah, 72 tons and gravel. So that will be ideal. So you are the biggest one I think I have. 14, yes. You are the one. So let's buy 2 of you and let's make you... I actually like the blue. Let me buy 2 of you. Actually, 2? 14 meters. Go with 4. I know a little bit excess, but that won't be a problem. And the reason I will do that is, 1, I want to start getting the gravel away from here. So I will have to plan a connection for a train to be able to get out of here, piggyback on this and go all the way. And for now, I want to bring some coal over here. So I'll use that train to bring stuff over here, unload into this section, and that will keep us going for winter. That way I don't need to depend on trucks, I don't need to depend on anything like that. And your total capacity will be 288 tons. Perfect. Okay. So erase the line, go here, buy coal, make me poor. And for now, you're just going to go over here, wait until you are unloaded, and you're going to unload coal. The reason I will make it the way it is, 1, so it can act as a buffer, and 2, I don't want trains running around until I have signals. So most of my trains are in their own unique areas and they're not blocking each other currently. Traffic jam. Let me guess. Oh, yeah. Speaking of trains, you wanna sell, you cannot sell because this. Hooray for signal, for lack of signals, I should say. Go back. Okay. And you now can change back to this. Because there are 2 separate... You're gonna follow the same line? No, you're over there. Cool. Now they will be organized. Are you buying this stuff? And then I can use the same thing for coal and iron to get the steel mine going. So this is an investment. Even though the money is just tanking hard. So it will be a little bit tight, but I think we will get through this. I think. Worst case scenario, I will have to improvise. Now, ideally I want to start building this soon too. So, and I stopped them from building those train lines. Last time I was talking about setting up a roundabout here. So let's do that. Let's set this up. So, since I want to cut those on a precise spot, I'm just going to put 2 nodes over there. And another 2... Whoop. So much for precision. I'm going to cut that. And there you go. That way they are exactly even. I'm going to take my pre-made roundabout. Because I can be lazy like that. Okay, so let's say you go here. What directions do I want to go? So I want you to be able to connect... Actually, let me try something else. I just had an idea. What if I try to get one of these lines to the middle? So you here. You won't let me. Because you don't like to follow the curve. Okay. Never mind. So let's remove. So take a note there. Clear. Why are you not letting me remove them? The roundabout doesn't need 3 nodes, it needs 2. Okay, so I need you to be able to turn this way. I need you to be able to turn this way. So, okay, I think I'm gonna go with something like that. Not the prettiest, but it should do. Terrain is pretty messy over here, so I don't know if I will head that way. I do need a road going here, and I think I need another one. Ooh, look at this. This will be interesting to cross. Is that the path I will take? If I connect all of this with a highway, or... Look at this crazy mountain. Because I do want to eventually land on this flat area. That's a nice flat area. Yeah, this will be interesting. Okay. So I'll make a connection this way, but eventually I'll probably have tunnels going under this crazy mountain to get behind it. We're talking like many episodes later, but yes. So you have this connection here, so let's bring you somewhat here. And you can connect that way. And you... Well, a single lane for you should be okay. So 2 points to merge, going around. I think that might just work. And for this, I'm gonna make a tunnel, since now I have the tunneling machine. One, two, 3 layers down. Actually, I need to start from here. 1, 2, 3 layers. Say you need to go there. I want to have the second one right next to you. 1, 2, 3. Can I not make you be on the same spot? Yep. The game is being difficult. Also, why do I have underground segments there? Go away. One, 2, 3. So you need to be about 60 meters long for the game to maintain you. That's fine. If I start backwards, you won't reach it. So I need a bit of space. One, 2, 3. Something like that. When in doubt, use a road. Should give you just the right angle and the right spacing to fix those. Because tunnels can be tricky. So I need you gentlemen to go in here, in here. If I make you go next to each other, actually. Is it worth creating a little branch here? Let me get the node. Come on. Come on. You know you want to. So that will give me a bit of branching. Sure. Why not? Okay. From here, we will continue all the way here. You, I do want you to start merging with these since you're underground. Let's do it this way. And then go up 1, 2, 3. 79 meters, that looks decent. 79 looks good. And from here, you're going to connect here, and you're going to connect here. Okay, how much are you going to cost me? Let me select the tunnel game. Hello? Well, submit. Only 23 tons of steel? That's not bad at all. That is less than I expected. Can we remove those nodes now? Yes, we can. Cool. So now you can fix nodes underground too. That is very happy times. Okay, so those are signal zones. So that's fine and that's fine. Clear this. Oh, clear this. Cool. So that part is ready as well. Let's use these guys to build that since they're closer. Okay, to the next thing. Cool, and our large train station is ready. See a couple people. A yellow person. Or green, lime green. Good. So they need to finalize those roads. It's a pity that workers from buildings won't just go and finish those roads. They need to bring them with a bus, which is kind of silly, but it's what it is. So you have people you're serving. Okay, so this is scaling indefinitely. Okay, 54. So that's based on productivity, I'm guessing. 83 productivity. So at max, you're gonna host about 100 people. Okay. This has quite the range. How are we going here? So those ones are ready. I also bought a few of these big cranes a few years ago, so they're kind of fun and useful. Oof, you are expensive, but it is what it is. We go look on list of vehicles and buildings and go on the list of cities and areas. We can see our cities and their populations. So if I sort this, our starter city has 5,500. Our gravel, there's a few houses that are considered part of the gravel industry, which is not they're not really there, but you cannot really adjust the zone. I wish we had the ability to paint which area is which zone, but maybe that will come with the release of version 1. And City 2 has 250 people. Also, interestingly enough, City 2 is bigger by 1 building. That's funny. And as our population is going up, our borrowing capacity is slowly going up as well. Which is good because I want to last pretty much through this year. And then start running the refinery at full force. And new vehicle, we don't care, clear all of that. You guys are all crying for electronics, that's okay. Any other complaints? Nope, you're fine. So that's a kindergarten. Didn't I make a school? Wait, is there no school in this area? Really? Did I forget schools? I think I did. Whoops. Let's set up a school. So we will need, well, we don't need a huge school. You kind of fit here perfectly, actually. And you will cover the whole Republic for the years to come. So here you're gonna have everything besides waste collection. But that's okay. So if I squeeze you right on this spot, you will be fine. Let's give you a little waste collection post right here. And that can be your own little waste thing. Actually, do you need waste coverage? No, you don't. Okay. Did I give these guys waste? Yes, they have that. Okay. I got a little bit paranoid there for a moment. So it needs to be quickly accessible. So the way down here will do. Cool. So please set this up right here. Number 3, queue those. Number 1, queue those. How are we going? We're getting there. Okay, so all of this is ready. We just need to finish the two. Oh, fire, fire, fire. Hello. Are they dealing with it? They are. It's too close for the helicopters. We only have 6 people. Did you not? They just delete the notification about the fire. I did, didn't I? Go up to 20 people. And you guys... You know what? Go. Go, 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 go. Save our stuff. Because the longer the fire goes, the more wear and tear this has. And the reconstruction for this will be pricey. And plus it has the possibility for it to collapse is larger. Yes, all of them are assigned to it, which is fine. I mainly need one of them. Buffer zone. Yeah, those are the local ones. Yep. So you guys do that. Please fix. And you don't need all of those people, so let's quickly remove it. There you go. Yeah, see, so it will be fun if this is under 800. Oh, hello. Did you actually help? And you were just not listed? Or did you just think that, maybe I should help now that they are struggling? Okay, let's measure. Because I think my theory is 800 or more, they will not send helicopters. So from the entrance roughly, yeah, it's under 800. The other one was 770, this is 730-ish. So if something catches fire here, in reality this should go. I'm gonna resume selling food again. So periodically I do that just to push the production of containers up. And since pretty much I have in the Republic, where are you? And since I pretty much in the Republic have a pretty decent amount of food, so I have 450 tons of food, which is plenty. So I can easily drop down to about 300. So that will give me a little bit more money. So that's 100,000 rubles worth. So if I sell pretty much 1/4 of it, that will be about 25,000. That will help deal with the loans a little bit. Our biggest value at the moment is our crops and the meat. If I really get desperate, I can start selling the meat, but I would prefer not to. 65 tons of clothes, which is, yeah, clothes have a ridiculous amount. And my bottleneck here really is, well, I'm losing a lot of money because I'm not making my own chemicals. So that's one thing. And these guys are not producing fast enough because I don't have enough people. So 10, 15, they're not enough. I think the biggest mistake of my starter city was I only aimed for about 5,000 people, and for the kind of setup I was thinking, they were not enough. I would probably need the first city to be about 8,000 people. Very expensive to maintain, but it would keep all this crop industry going full force without much problems. Plus I would immediately have the available buffer to utilize on a refinery. So, lesson learned. Going to move the tunnel boring machine over here. Thankfully it doesn't need workers. It's a very interesting one. I love the detail on it. And actually the developers posted that they are going to allow excavators to work on road tunnels, and that's something I'm really looking forward to because I like making tunnels. They're fun. And with that, it will actually allow you to make tunnels much earlier in the game. Or so I think. So you guys cannot auto-detect stuff because they are over the 4.5 kilometers. That's one of the reasons I want to move this. So queue this, and when that's done, they can continue. Road and bulldozers are happening over here. Good. We will need power here, so a high voltage one will be fine, and I will need to plan for water and sewage. I mean, I can literally just dump it over here. We'll see. Okay, so just need people and just need people. I think I will just give them do I need the school? No, I don't need the school immediately because they are getting educated on the other city and they're just moving here, so their children are not old enough. That's okay, let them build it. Just need to finish this. So I think I'll give the game a minute to finalize those buildings so we can set them up, and then I will wrap up this episode. So I'll be right back. Okay, and our first few workers are being transferred around. I do not know the frequency of them. Can I see the line frequency? So cabin speed moves at 10 meters per second. I bought 4 cabins, 2 and 2 pretty much. Doesn't tell me the frequency. But I think it should be good enough to keep things running. Worst case scenario, I buy a few more of these. And we'll see how we go. But this is where I'm gonna wrap up this episode. Thanks everyone very much for watching. Don't forget to drop a comment, like, subscribe, you know, all the exciting stuff. And I'll catch you all on the next one. Bye bye.